Are you
Hello.
all from Maharashtra?
Yes, we are streaming live now, Lysine. Welcome all to the 26th Shikshan Sanvad of Active Teachers Maharashtra. And today we have a very special guest from Russia. The name of today's speaker is Lysine Jhangiryan, and she will be talking about her teaching experiences, and she will be answering the question and answer questions to the questions posed by you. Let me first tell you about the series Shikshan Sanvad. This is the 26th talk. We already have crossed the 25th mark of the Silver Jubilee. So welcome all the viewers to this Facebook live session with Lysine. And Active Teachers Maharashtra is a group of proactive teachers belonging to the government schools in Maharashtra. Majority of the teachers are from government schools and the primary schools. But the ambit is widening in this pandemic era. Now ATM has joined hands with Mission, and ATM already collaborates with national associations like the INET Association of English Teachers. So it's a game changer for the ATM now. And we already have the educational apps, the websites, the self-publishing houses, and a lot of activities are being done by the Active Teachers Maharashtra. And we have invited different educationists from state, from the country, and from the other parts of the world as well. So today we have Lysine with us. Welcome, Lysine, to this talk.
Thank you. Thank you so much for invitation.
And we have the state convener of the ATM, Mr. Vikram Arsu sir.
Thanks, sir.
Yes, sir.
Firstly, Namaste and welcome to all this 26th session arranged jointly by ATM and Mission India. It's our privilege that we have an international educator to speak with us. I heartily welcome Lysine Jhangiryan. Welcome to India and Maharashtra. And now handing over session to the Mr. Pradeep sir.
Okay, thank you, Dada. Namaste and welcome all the audience to this 26th session of ATM, Active Teachers Maharashtra, jointly ventured with Nishink India. Welcome, Lysine. This is the official welcome to you. Let me first introduce you to all the audience of Maharashtra as well as the audience who have joined us from all over the India and world. She is Lysine Jhangiryan, and she's an eminent active English language teacher, and she's from Russia. She teaches in a public school at Achings. It is from Siberia. She is a certified national geographic educator, a global ambassador of Penspal schools, and a deputy board member of Killing Global Association. And today we will have some words with her. I hope you all will amuse with her talk. And again, welcome, Lysine. Okay, before going to discuss our today's topic, I would like to ask you, rather all the audience from Maharashtra, how did you manage, or how did you manage to reach up to the top 50 finalists of Worky Foundation Global Prize Award? And also tell us what is the meaning of GTP or Global Prize, or how it is worthful?
Oh, well, thanks for the question. So I think that I should start telling from the very beginning of my teaching career when I came to school. and I just didn't like everything about me. And I'm talking about the fact that my students were not motivated to learn English, because you know that learning English requires some effort, and it has a lot of difficulties in learning grammar, vocabulary, and so on. So that is how I started to look for effective ways and ways to motivate my students to learn English, and to be a will to learn English. So I realized clearly that I needed real situations communication, and I wanted my students to feel how exciting it is to speak a foreign language, to feel the same as me, and to have an ability and to have an opportunity to speak a foreign language and to communicate with their peers who live somewhere far away from your country, from your city, and who you can communicate with thanks to modern technologies, and why not a regular post. So when I started a global collaboration, I found much more benefits in it. I found out a lot of benefits which global communication, global collaboration, global education can provide us with. And I saw that along with motivation and drive and fun, which we can get from international collaboration, it is also a wonderful way to develop students' core competences and also language skills. So I kept collaborating globally in spite of difficulties, because previously I have a lot of difficulties starting from equipment and having no support, you see. So when I saw the effectiveness of my approaches and got a lot of positive feedback from my students, parents, school administration, especially my principal, Nadezhda Yagodkina, so I decided to take part in the contest and tell the world about our achievements, about our approaches, about our work. The Global Teacher Prize application was not easy to submit. It was really huge and had a lot of different points. And it contained points on demonstration and description of every aspect of your career, including teaching approaches, innovative methods, global work, your achievements, your students' achievements, your ability to share your experience, your expertise with other educators, even your own story, and your further intentions, and a lot of different aspects. And Pradeep, you asked what the Global Teacher Prize is.
Yeah.
It's a $1 million US dollars award presented annually to an exceptional teacher who has made an outstanding contribution to the profession. The Varkey Foundation established the prize in 2014 to recognize and celebrate the impact that teachers have around the world, not only on their students, but also on the communities around them. This was about Global Teacher Prize, and shortly my way towards this prize.
Very nice. Mind-blowing and very inspiring story of your hard work and dedication, Lysine. Lysine, 21st century is the era of technical innovations, you know, and we all are using all these technical tools in our education too. And so my question is about that particular thing is that how do you think technology helps learning in general and particular in remote learning in the current situation of COVID-19 disease?
Mm-hmm. Firstly, without any doubt, technology is an incredible opportunity for us, for our students, for all of us to communicate and to learn, right? And of course, today's education can't be the same as it was 10 years ago or 20 years ago. So a modern teacher or innovative teacher should find new ways to bring to his or her classroom. And technologies really provide us with these opportunities. Talking about the difference between using technologies before the global pandemic and now, I would like to say that I am really very lucky to use all the tools I have been doing currently before remote learning. And I think that this is what helped my students to escape stress, at least at my lessons. And you asked about differences. Each of us realizes that remote learning is not easy. It is not easy for our students, it is not easy for teachers, and it is not easy for parents. But we are trying and we are doing our best. And when we started in Russia teaching remotely, it was like a catastrophe. The first week was very hard because children weren't ready to do all the tasks, to learn every subject remotely. And teachers were working 20 hours per day. I'm saying this really, it is really true. It is not exaggeration, you see, and you know it yourself. So, but of course, our knowledge, our previous knowledge in technologies helped us in teaching remotely.
Yes, Lysine, technology has given a lot of weapons in our hands to reach to our students, whatever the condition it is. You have told about that you have used a lot of technical tools to reach to your students. But thinking about my country, here most of the students are learning in government schools, and they don't have such technical gadgets like Android phones, laptops, or computers. Do you face the same problem there? Do you have such students who doesn't have these gadgets? And if yes, how can you tackle that problem, and how can you reach those students remotely who don't have such gadgets?
Pradip, thanks for this question. And of course, there are a lot of students here who don't have an access to the internet, or have the internet but don't have any gadgets at home, or they have one gadget but they have, for example, sisters or brothers who are also school children, right? And also they have parents who should and have to work remotely too. That is why, of course, it is a big problem. But as for our school, we created chats on social media, I mean messengers, you see, and this really helps to communicate, to keep in touch with our students or with parents. if there are students who don't have any gadgets at all and don't have opportunity to keep in touch even through messengers, our teachers come to school, leave some tasks, leave some material for those students, for example, for a week. And at the end of the week, they just come to school and take these tasks and leave another task, new task. This is why we deal with this problem, with this situation.
Wow, you have find a lot of ways to reach up to your students, whether they have gadgets or not. Here in India or in Maharashtra, a lot of teachers also doing their best to reach to their students. Prakash Chavan is one of the teacher from my district. He has made lot of digital material, and he posts those PDF files, Word files to the people in that village who has those gadgets, and those people provide that material to those students who doesn't have that.
Wow,
this is the
great.
link. Yeah, this is a great work by Prakash Chavan, and a lot of this. Yes. Prakash Chavan is a representative of such peoples or such teachers. I think my next question is that you are successful English teacher. I have seen a lot of lessons, and as well as attended your live lessons too when you were preparing for Worky Foundation. My question is that what innovative approaches you have implemented in your classroom, particularly teaching English as a second language? I think English is taught as a second language in Russia too, right?
Sorry, you mean this is the only language? Foreign language in Russia?
Yes. I am talking about English, teaching of English.
Yes.
Is it
taught? Pradeep, last year we got another program, and now we have the second foreign language as well. Yeah. And this year is the first one when I started teaching French as well.
Wow.
But of course, my first subject is English. My first foreign language is English, and for all of students in Russia.
Is it a second language?
No, it is not the language which people speak here. No, it is not very popular here.
No. My question is that, is it taught as a second language?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Here it is in India, we also taught English as a second language. My question is that, what innovative approaches you have implemented in your classroom teaching English?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, Pradeep, when we talk about innovations, it refers not only technologies.
Yeah.
For example, in Russia, teachers incorporate with their plans for a year, using such innovative methods like workshops during the lesson, researches, virtual trips. That means not just a virtual trip through, for example, a video. No, it can be through, for example, colored magazines, booklets, or I don't know, newspapers, right? And this is also a good way to provide innovative methods of teaching, where when your students can gather around the table, and in group they explore some topic, and then they divide their responsibilities. They answer some questions designed by the teacher, and at the end they come to the blackboard all together and have a speech, and therefore they are developing their speaking skills, for example, right? And the other part, the rest of the class who are listening are developing their listening skills. But of course, without any doubt, digital technologies provided us with a lot of opportunities, and we don't imagine now our lessons without this. And what can I say? Today's learning is different. Today's lesson is different, and it is not just learning from a textbook.
Okay, a nice way. You have told that you use research, technology, and remedial teachings also. There is a peer learning, and we Indians also use these types of techniques or approaches in teaching foreign language. How much the magazines and newspaper useful in teaching speaking and listening skill?
Magazines?
Yeah, magazines
you
and
mean
newspapers.
Magazines which my students are looking through, right?
Yeah.
Why not? Why not? If they are motivating my students, if they are providing my students with additional information on the topic we are learning, right? Why not? It is really motivated, and my students get interested when they see a lot of different materials. I try to collect different materials for them.
Yes, my question is that how do you use this type of material? For example, if you are going to use magazine or newspaper, what is your way to use that?
Okay, for example, our topic in our textbook and our grammar, we learned some topic, we learned some vocabulary, we read some text, and as an additional information, we get some magazines, we find the information which is required by the teacher, and we are exploring some additional information on the topic. Moreover, magazines are always colored, and it is also very good for students, right? When they have a visual, I don't know, pictures, something like that. And it also helps to motivate. Wow, this is a very good way.
Yeah, you means that visual things always create a aura of learning, whatever the language or whatever the subject it is. Okay, we have been in lockdown since last 2 or 3 months. You know, it may be different in all other countries. Now the governments are going to find the ways to open the schools. Okay, I don't know what is the decision given by your government, but government of Maharashtra is going to open the schools in Maharashtra from June 15 in a area which is not mostly affected by Corona. So my question is that what changes do you think we should make in learning and teaching after the lockdown, whenever the schools will be open?
First of all, let me tell you a few words about our situation. The thing is that in Russia, summer months are holiday months. So we have 3 months holiday here, June, July, and August.
Okay. So
yes,
you don't have any problem.
I hope that we will not have problems in September. We don't have any specific information about this, but I know for sure that in September there will be some restrictions. For example, students will be divided into groups so that at each desk only one student can sit so that they can keep social distance. It will be really very strange and very unusual for us. And about what we learned, you know, we have a lot of difficulties, and we had a lot of difficulties before coming to distant learning because we had to master new platforms, right? We were searching for new tools, for new platforms for our students to be connected with them. And this situation, you know, we get some benefits for this situation. We learned a lot of things. I mean, not only teachers, but also our students, which can be used later. So I think that we should go on incorporating digital tools, but of course, keeping balance so that we can be sure that we do not harm our students' health.
Okay. How many students are actually in your classrooms? Because here we have a lot of students in non-government schools, and in government schools also we have more than 30 or 35 students. So it will be difficult us to manage with these all things. How many students you have in your classrooms?
I have big classes, I have small classes, and in our city, at the English lesson, classes are divided into groups so that it can be more effective to learn a foreign language. But if there are less than 25 students in the class, for example, 24, the class is not divided. Yeah. So I have a lot of classes which are not divided into groups, but I also have classes which are divided into groups which include 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 students. So from 12 to 16 or 20, more than 20, this way.
Okay. As you told that we are living in a 21st century, and there are so many 21st century learning initiatives and skills and core skills. What are these core skills, and how can we inculcate these core skills in our students, thinking in a multicultural situation or multicultural environment? Because thinking of India, we have a lot of languages spoken here, and a lot of cultural diversities in India. So let me tell, is the same situation in Russia too? And how can we inculcate these core skills in a multicultural environment?
Pradeep, thank you so much for this question. And I prepared a short presentation. Let me now just share my screen.
Can you share? Okay.
Okay, now can you see my screen?
Yes, yes, yes.
So let's talk a bit about 21st century skills and core competences, and how can we help our students to gain these competencies, and what competencies are in general we're talking about. So, you know, when we are talking about core competences and the skills, I prepared a list of skills for you. And this is not related to only subject skills. I mean, literacy, numeracy, science, IT literacy, financial literacy, which are basics for students, right?
Yeah.
We have a lot of things, a lot of competencies which are above just subject skills, and which we as teachers should help our students gain, because without these skills, without these competencies, they can't be successful in their future life. And what I'm talking about, I put the basic national values in the first line because every country tends to provide students with basic national values like native language, native traditions, some, I don't know, customs. So some specific things which are, which characterize this nation, right?
Yeah.
The next things and the next competencies are really necessary for a successful citizen, not only of the country, but also of the global community. Let's see them. And they are thinking critically, analyzing, creative thinking. I mean, finding creative ways to solve a problem, making responsible decisions, communication and collaboration skills, civic engagement and socialization, ability to set goals and ability to achieve results, and not only ability, but also, how to say, let me think, also a will to achieve a result, right? And to fulfill your aims, your goals, right?
Yes.
Also, time management, self-management, and students' future success depends on all these skills. And at the end, you can see, I emphasized global competence, which is also a very important competence, and it is included in 21st century skills. And you know, I checked the definition of these skills on different resources, using different resources on different sites. And this term refers to being globally aware, to be able to accept other cultures, to respect other cultures, and to feel a part of multicultural community, which this is what this competence means. So, do you want me to tell about some activities which my students are engaged in, and that this is how I can provide these competencies to my students? Okay. Radip, can you hear me?
Yeah, I am hearing you.
Okay, maybe you have another question before switching to resources and tools.
Yes. Have you completed your sharing?
No.
Okay. Can I ask another question?
Of course.
Yeah. Yes, okay. Nice to see that you are taking your students at the global platform, and you have provided them a lot of exposures so that they can be competent globally. As you are working with the different global projects, yeah. We are seeing on the screen, PenPal schools for global educators like this. How can you give your students a global platform? How did you do to collaborate with those projects? And are these projects are helpful to the students from throughout India as well as throughout world, and how they can collaborate with the world students or world education?
Mm-hmm. So I will share with you some tools and some resources which help me keep my students engaged during this remote learning, and also help me to involve my students into global collaboration and collaborative learning. So you can see now a slide which represents the PenPal Schools for Global Educators platform.
Yes.
And this is where my students develop their 21st century skills and also subject skills like reading, writing, listening, speaking, and so on. They build their vocabulary, right?
Yeah.
And at the same time, they have an opportunity to collaborate with their peers from different countries, and all the communication is happening here on this site and is visible for the teacher. Okay. So this is really very useful. I took some shots to demonstrate how this site works. And you see that, just a minute, maybe I think I can also share with you the site itself. Let's take some project. For example, the Human Body Project. You see that each project includes several lessons. And this, yes, each lesson, when you click on it, okay, let's take, for example, illness and disease. Each lesson contains a video, it contains a text, and also it contains dictionary and a lot of different illustrations. After learning this topic, you have to answer some questions. After answering the questions, your peers from different countries can comment on your answer, and the same thing can be done by you, I mean, by students. Okay. Also, what I like on this site is that there are a lot of criteria, you see on the right, different criteria, which are really very helpful because the teacher doesn't have to create some other criteria. Everything is ready. Also, let's again switch to, okay, let's do this way. Do we have enough time?
Yes.
Okay. You can also have an opportunity to invite parents. So this space, this environment is created not only for teachers and students, but also for parents. This is one more good opportunity. Okay, I am going back. I'm going back to my presentation. So I told you about criteria, and also we have an opportunity to communicate with teachers from the other countries. And wow. Yes, teachers are finding partners, are finding colleagues here, and they can arrange their own projects, right? It is also really very good opportunity for teachers. Of course, a few words about gamification, and the Kahoot game became very popular among students, and it also can be played with students from different countries. So when we have some collaborative research, at the end we usually have a Kahoot game to check if our students got information well. Also, on this platform, we can check our students' language skills. Yeah. Including grammar. Another platform is Flipgrid platform, and you know it and you work on it. I know about it. It is a very good opportunity for being connected with students doing remote learning. And it provides short videos through which our students can have some tasks, I mean reading tasks or speaking tasks. And this is very good tool for my students to become more confident in speaking. Yeah. Okay, a few words. Just a minute. You can see that my students have a lot of achievements, and some of my students even became stars of the week, so-called stars of the week on Pample schools, and they got special certificates. Just a minute. Yes, Pample schools again. And one more platform is KidLink, Global KidLink platform. And this provides me with a lot of short-term projects. Pradi, by the way, how much time do we have?
We have a lot of time.
Oh, really? Great.
Yeah.
Okay. And I would like to mention the KidLink Schools Around the World global project, which I have been coordinating currently for already 4 years. And this is a good opportunity for students from different countries to make new friends and to communicate with them through video messages. These video messages can happen also on Flipgrid, which I mentioned previously.
Yeah.
And on YouTube, any. You can also, for example, exchange video messages through email. And this is one more opportunity to develop core competences. And you know, this is a very good opportunity to get rid of stereotypes, which are not good for us and for our students. I mean, stereotypes related to different cultures, you know, because at the beginning of my career, I also noticed that my students were not ready to accept another cultures. Okay, they collaborate through different questions. You can see some questions which were asked by students from different countries to each other. And you see that these are some very simple things which are students interested in, but the simple things can help them to understand each other, to spread, you know, global friendship, to get global awareness and so on. Of course, the second part of the questions includes more global issues like global warming, protecting environment, and so on. And very often, our classroom is visited by mass media. It can be a TV studio, or it can be a magazine, a local newspaper, and so on. And my students are very proud of this fact. And they become, by the way, giving interviews, they become more confident. So this is really very good that they can share their ideas, their feelings, their understanding of global communication. Also, a few words about Microsoft tools. And first of all, the tool that changed my teaching career is Skype in the Classroom tool, which helps us to connect globally and have different projects and have different lessons. Yes, we can continue our collaboration through different exchanges like cards exchange, flag exchange, cultural box exchange, letters exchange, and so on. Yes, and at the end, I just included a few pictures from our student exchanges with India and Taiwan, which helped my students to meet their peers from different countries in real life and to overcome the language barrier and again to gain all the competencies we were talking about. I regularly share my experience with my colleagues, not only in Russia, not only in our city, in our region, but also with teachers from other countries. And it can be done not only online, but also in person. And on this slide, or in this slide, you can see my visit to the USA. And I attended the World Ready Global Education Conference, where I got a lot of different ideas. And I shared my experiences in KidLink global projects. And another slide shows my speech in Moscow with the creators of the Pample Schools Global Platform, Mark Danford and George Rowan, and it was really an honor for me to deliver a speech along with them. It was a digital transformation conference, and also just a minute, what happened? I don't know. I think that the presentation is over. I just wanted to say that we also presented global projects in Cultural Corner in American Embassy. Okay, I am ready to answer your questions if you have any.
Yeah, no, actually, you have told a lot of things about the global project and your work, and how can the students from throughout the world collaborate with other students and other educators from the world. I liked your two projects, Pen Pal Schools and Killing Global Associations project. And I am one of the, it is my privilege that I am one of the participant of Killing project. Thanks to participate me in that project.
Thank you for joining us.
Now we have the viewers' question. We are going to take those questions first. If the questions are the same, you have already thought about that. Please tell one sentence answer, short answer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
The first question is from Hansraj Desai. His question is that what's limitations uses of technology in primary level classes kids? He's asking about is there any limitations using technology in primary schools?
You know, frankly speaking, I am not teaching now in primary school, but of course I taught there. Limitations, I don't think that we have any limitations. Do you know why? Because very few, I think, teachers incorporate with digital tools, or I don't know. I think maybe they have some presentations, but they are not connected with teachers or students.
Will you please stop your screen sharing?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Okay, now you can continue.
So about limitations, I didn't really heard about this, but I know that if we have too much using of technologies, this will be restricted, of course.
Okay, the question asked by Jyoti Deepak Balaule. She is one of the coordinator of our group. She's asking which tips you give to students for smart use of technology.
Tips?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Using
good
technology
question.
smartly. Yeah.
Yeah, good question, by the way. And this was discussed also during our Global Teacher Award online webinar. And you know, this, I think that we are talking about now digital literacy. And I actually involve my students in projects, specifically in Pample School projects, which are designed to help students gain digital literacy. For example, this is how, I mean, the project, they learn how to identify real news and fake news. So the answer to your question is involving two special projects where my students can gain digital literacy.
Okay, the another question is whether the role of teacher affected by use of technology.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch you.
Yeah, whether the role of teacher affected by use of technology.
A role of teacher?
Yeah.
I
Is
You
there
mean-
any? Is there any? Is there any affection, or I think it is called affected. I think that there should be affected. Is the role of the teacher affected by the use of technology?
rules
Means
of the teacher?
yes, I think she want to ask that can we replace a teacher to technology? I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Can technology replace the teacher? Of course not. Of course not, because the teacher is the person who realizes what his or her students needs. He realizes clearly the needs of the students. And for that, the teacher himself or herself is developing skills and learn more methods and ways which cannot be done by technology.
Okay. Another question from Prakash Chavan. He's asking how much time do we use technology in our class? And what experiences do you give children with the help of technology?
Yeah, I think that I already answered these questions, but okay. I can, for example, use a PowerPoint presentation for presenting a new topic. And I can use some technologies to provide communication. And I can use some technologies to assess and evaluate my students online, for example, as a homework.
Okay. Sanjay Khade, he is a eminent teacher from Aurangabad, and he is asking you to sing a song in Russian language.
Oh, I'm not a good singer.
yet our audience want to listen you.
Pradeep,
You can listen up. You can sing a poem.
Pradeep,
Yeah.
we can do it together during our session on Zoom or Skype classroom, and we can do it together with our students, and it will be more exciting.
Yes, it will be. But that time, these people will not be there.
We can share later.
Okay. The next question from Gajanan Udar. He's asking how much global educator platforms are useful in teaching students. You already tell the answer of this question. You use PenPal schools and Killing global schools. We can use Flipgrid and so that. If you want to tell another, you can.
They definitely can be useful, and they definitely can be effective, because technologies, by the way, can help to demonstrate our students that we are not old people, and we can breathe with the same air as our students. You know, when students see that you master some tools or some technologies, he understands that the teacher is not a robot, but he is a person who can have the same, I don't know, the same interests or the same abilities.
Okay. Manjusha Sangrolikar is asking about the format of assessing the skills of students.
Forms of assessing. You know, for each kind of skills, not only subject, talking about subject skills, I mean reading, writing, speaking, listening. For each skill, we have some criteria, of course, and we use this criteria. But criteria are used not only for subject skills, but for soft skills, for so-called soft skills. like about ability to solve a problem, ability to communicate, ability to go above the subject task. You see, maybe I didn't explain it correctly, but I mean that not only subject skills, not only language skills are evaluated by the teacher.
Okay. Umesh Kotalwar is asking which linguistic games is played in Russia.
Linguistic games?
Yes, linguistic games. Maybe like a Flipgrid and Kahoot.
Okay, I already told about Kahoot, which can be a very fun process and very effective process to check vocabulary, to check grammar, to check reading comprehension, right?
Okay.
But there are a lot of games which are not digital ones. And I can mention role plays, for example, when children take different roles. I can mention debates. I can mention mini conferences or different, I don't know. There are a lot of different games. I can really share them later if you want. I can share the list of the games with you.
Okay. And the last question, which is from Manisha Gamne from Thane. What is your focus area about your students' learning outcomes?
What is my?
What is your focus area about your students' learning outcomes?
Learning outcomes. So we already talked about criteria, and I have been monitoring all the skills. I have been monitoring during the year. I fix some results in the beginning of the term, and then I fix some results at the end of the term, and it helps me to monitor their success, their developing, right? What else? And again, I can mention that results are related not only to subject skills, but also soft skills. So we are talking about not only hard skills, but also soft skills and personal qualities as well.
Okay, Lysine. Actually, I had a lot of sessions with your students, but this was really amazing and a dream for me. And you have given all the answers and talk with our audience or viewers and share your work and your dedication, as well as you have told our viewers about a lot of global projects and how you have given exposures to your students to build their global communicative approaches and skills. Thank you, and I am handing over the session to our coordinator, Mr. Vikram Da. Vikram Da.
Nice session. Thanks, ma'am. Pradeep and now I will Marathi language to tomorrow's session about information about tomorrow's session.
Yes, I will translate.
नाही ओके हा आज प्रदीप आणि लुसीन यांनी खूप सुंदर असा शिक्षण संवाद आपल्यासाठी घेतला. आंतरराष्ट्रीय दर्जाचं एक शिक्षण संवाद आपल्या एटीएमच्या प्लॅटफॉर्मवर घडला हा एक इतिहास आहे आणि हा इतिहासाचा खरा मोहरा जो आहे तो मी आज प्रदीपला म्हणतोय. प्रदीप,
Thank you,
प्राऊड
दादा.
ऑफ यू.
Thank you.
आणि नदीम भाईंचे सुद्धा खूप खूप धन्यवाद. कारण नदीम भाई स्टार्टर मॅन अँड यू आर सेकंड ओपनर ऑफ ATM.
Yeah. Yes.
So can you share with
उद्याचं
me?
आपलं हा ओके, सांगा त्यांना.
Yes, yes. He's telling the vote of thanks to you.
Thank you so much.
And he's telling that today's session is the historical session for active teachers Maharashtra, because this session has taken active teachers Maharashtra at the global level, and he is congratulating you for being selected as the top 50 finalist for global prize, global teachers prize by Worky Foundations.
Thank you so much.
Yes, and Nadim Bhai, please come, and
Yeah.
or Narayanda, whoever, please come and complete this.
Yeah.
आणि उद्याचं आपलं सेशन असणार आहे. उद्याच्या सेशनाचे आपले संवादक आहेत डॉक्टर गोविंद नांदेड, पूर्व शिक्षण संचालक प्राथमिक महाराष्ट्र शासन पुणे. आणि आपला शिक्षण संवादाचा विषय असेल कोरोना नंतरचे शिक्षण. उद्याचा 6 वाजता सेशन होईल. आज आपण लुसीन मॅडम यांच्या वेळेनुसार 6:30 वाजता म्हणजे अर्धा तास प्रमाणानुसार थोडा लेट घेतला होता. तर उद्याचं आपलं सेशन हे सायंकाळी 6 वाजता नेहमीप्रमाणे होईल. प्रदीप.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nadim
Lysine,
sir.
Thank you very much for sparing time for the teachers of Maharashtra, and we wish you all the best for the Global Teacher Prize, and congratulations for whatever you have done so far and for sharing with us everything you have done. So it was a great to have you here on this Shikshan Sanvad. So thank you very much.
Thank you, and bye bye all.
Thank you. Bye bye.